this is round 1 of a Vintage League. We are going to try to combine the powers of both of the Hate Walkers, Narset and Karn, with some mana drain backup, and see what we can do with this pile. It might work, it might not work. We're not really sure at this point, but we're going to try our best to see what happens. So, round 1, we got Buddy, one of our friends. Theme? And we're gonna battle. Let's do it. And turn the light on too. Alright, so classic vintage hand that doesn't do anything. Theme likes to attack usually. So if there's a cavern, this hand's going to be pretty good. I mean pretty bad. So I don't know if we can possibly keep this. Let's try. Hello, good luck. Let's try it. This is the type of hand I usually tell people to mulligan in Vintage. It's not proactive enough, but I'm not going to probe. I'm going to leave that open for Force of Will. If our opponent is on a deck where we want to cast Mental Misstep, then it's going to be pretty important that we keep Mental Misstep and have something to pitch to Force of Will. If our opponent's on a deck that we don't care about Mental Misstep, then we can just pitch it to Force of Will and we can probe on the next turn. So, but without knowing that, I don't want to probe there. I don't really want to show him what's happening. It's a little bit of an aggressive Mental Misstep, but I think it's fine. And I'm willing to use 2 life here. Okay. Alright, you get to see. By using 2 life, basically, if the probe doesn't resolve, then I'm representing things like Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce, which I think is important. Now they know they just have to beat Force of Will. It looks like it's going to be blue-red Xerox, probably Dak Vaden, Narset, that kind of stuff. That's really the worst draw in our deck, probably. And once again, I have to hold this in hand for this Force of Will. If opponent resolves a Narset or a Dak here, it's really bad for us. We don't have any card advantage of our own. Alright, they missed their second land drop. I don't think I'm going to crack. Oh, I might crack 1. It's just like such negligible amounts of thinning, but we'll just do 1. Alright, Remora is interesting. That's interesting for sure. I have a feeling our opponent has Pyroblast, but I don't really know if waiting is helping us in any way, so our opponent could easily have Snap Misstep as well. I'm going to hold it, I think. A Snap Misstep here puts us in a really awkward spot. I think it's actually better to just have them do nothing. We also get to keep advancing our mana base, which is really important because we're trying to like Karn Lattice. So that's a really good one. I'm pretty happy with that draw. Still want to hold this probe for Force of Will, but I really do want to know what's going on in their hand. I'm gonna probe, I think. No, I still don't want to give them any opportunity to do a Snap Misstep here. If we draw Karn next turn, that's a really bad draw. That's such a good draw for our opponent. Holy moly. Alright, we don't have a Strip Mine in the deck, huh? That might be something to keep in mind for later. No Strip Mine could be an issue. So here comes Snap Misstep, maybe? Okay, that's fine. We're gonna put the Remora into play this turn. We needed something. We needed some kind of powerful card to be an engine. Alright, so we have a Remora, so our opponent is incentivized, or, decentivized from casting spells, but they have a library, which is, an incentive, so they're very lucky to have drawn a land there. If they didn't draw a land, they wouldn't have been able to use their library, so I think you're supposed to library and upkeep there. I guess you can just wait and miss your land drop and go to the end of turn, on my turn use library, but I think that's, like, pretty risky. So I think our opponent took a little bit of a risk there, going up to 8 cards. If they didn't hit a land drop off the top, I think it ends up like a card disadvantage for them. Or at least advancing your mana base disadvantage. You really need to hit a land drop that turn. But they did, so no problems there. So we're gonna pay for our Mystic Remora, and we're gonna at least crack at least one of these before preordaining. Our opponent's it's not really great for our opponent to counter this. Those cards are bad. We don't want those. I mean, Lotus isn't bad, but it's not helping us right now. This will be nice. It'll help us for after we can't pay for our Remora anymore. It also has a blue card for Force as well. The problem is going to end up being our opponent's on library, so even when we draw our, payoff cards, they're going to have enough counter spells to make it so it's not, make it so it's bad for us. If our opponent hadn't drawn library, I think we're pretty far ahead, but our opponent drawing library is awkward. Ooh, it's Jeskai and not just blue-red. Probably have to be Jeskai, or at least splashing white for Swords to Plowshares right now. You need to be able to beat a Mana Gorge or Hydra out of PO. I guess if we draw back to basics and can resolve it, it's pretty decent. But this is still going to get an island, so it's not great. Yeah, unfortunate for us, they have a library, so it's not like Remora is actually holding them back in any way. And we're not, forcing anything, or forcing any plays through, so we're not actually advancing, we're just falling behind the library. Even if we had a strip mine, we would have to draw it, which is, tough ask. We should probably take one of the islands out and put a strip mine in, though. We should have an out, really. Something I didn't really think about. Now that I put the strip mine in, though, I'm going to draw it every time and not be able to mana drain. So the Hercules is not the worst, because it does give us a Force of Will pitch, but we are just going to die to the Snapcaster Mage currently. Our opponent also gets to play Pyroblast in their deck, which is pretty hard for us to beat. Oh, another creature, huh? Seems good. Don't think we're going to be able to beat this card. We're not even going to be able to Spell Pierce a Pyroblast after. Yeah, I'm just going to let this resolve. I guess we could have drawn a bunch of cards with Remora if we go for a counter war over it. I think they're just going to let it get countered, though. Add another land, too, huh? Alright. Yeah, I think we're dead. Don't really see how we're going to come back from this. Alright, that's probably how. We need our opponent to cast spells next turn. Our opponent really doesn't have to cast any spells is the problem. So if we can resolve a drain and have a something after, then maybe we have a shot. But I don't really see why our opponent would cast any spells when they're on a turn. I'm on a 2-turn clock to answer these 2/1s. Maybe we should play a Blast Zone in our deck. That's some standard tech. Kill all the 2-drops. So please cast a spell. Nope. Alright. I'm gonna let the Remora drop. We can't really afford to have 4 mana tapped. Don't really know how we're going to win, but do our best. Chain. Alright, that should at least buy us a turn. I don't think we're gonna get this Remora to resolve, but we'll try, I guess. So we could drain something here, and we still don't have a way to draw a card. I guess if Remora resolves later, then we could draw a card. That doesn't really work. This is the kind of the reason I don't like keeping those kind of 4 lands counterspell hands, but I think it would have been okay if there wasn't a library on the other side. Yeah, we're never going to be able to draw a card unless this Remora resolves is the biggest issue. And if our opponent casts 2 spells, we're dead on the board. So I don't really know what we could we could ever do here. Yeah. I guess we should have to start by... Yeah. I don't know. That's what I said, Matt. I thought our opponent would be attacking us. Maybe that's how far we've fallen. Let's get a Flusterstorm in. Let's just take out this Chain of Vapor. I actually don't think I want it. Classic Matt telling me my lists are garbo. Makes me sad. I've seen the Jund and Abzan decks you play. Get out of here. I wonder if CBL came back up. Did not. Man, I don't know what happened to CBL today. Not happy. Yeah, but Matt, we already established that trophies don't do anything. Come on, man. They're not even do anything. You're not good if you trophy. I swear. Yeah. Only an 80% win rate. I really don't think that's good enough. If you were, maybe 90% win rate, then I think you might be good. Until then, just Jun guy. How many high tides am I supposed to play in this list, Matt? Make some mana. Alright. On the play. Got a drain. Why not? Let's battle. Kind of where we're at in life, right? Not having Pyroblast is probably enough to make this deck bad. But so be it. Pretty easy to splash Pyroblast, too. I don't know if Drain's... Oh my god, stop! Alright, we're never going to win. We can literally never beat a Library of Alexandria. I guess this technically can beat a Library of Alexandria. I would have to resolve, and I currently don't have any Force of Wills in my hand. God damn. Oh no, not our back to basics. We are never winning this game. Holy heck. I don't think so. Gush is gonna put us so far behind. I might have to Gush there just as a last-ditch effort before I concede, but we can like literally never ever beat a library start, so didn't even draw Force of Will. Like, all right, close game. Both teams fought hard. I could play that game out for another 20 minutes, or we can just get into the next.